to the one-stop shop with all the news that's fit to talk about from around the world of black college sports. It is the HBCU Sports Nation, often imitated but never duplicated. It's your boy Mark Gray. Thanks for hanging out with us. And if there's one thing that we learned last weekend, folks are happy to be back at the ballpark. I don't care where you are. I don't care how bad things were for your team. And things got pretty bad for some teams who were picking up big paychecks. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But just to be at the ballpark, and then when you got a classic, like the Southern Heritage Classic, who does it big in Memphis, and you get a game with a transcendent performance by the son of a Hall of Famer, those are all of the ingredients that are needed to make a conventional classic Saturday something special. Let's head to Beale Street with a hearty helping of Corky's and Rendezvous in the stomach. It was a record-setting performance for freshman quarterback George Sanders of Jackson State. He completed 30 of 40 passes for 362 yards and 3 touchdowns. Those 30 completions set a new Southern Heritage Classic record. He found the end zone first by connecting with senior Josh Lanier for a 14-yard pitch and catch at the 19-second mark in the first quarter. And then Jackson State and Tennessee State will trade field goals late into the second quarter. And the blue and white went into the halftime with a 10-7 lead. But then that was all she wrote as Jackson State took off in the third quarter and Sanders became baby prime. He connected with Keith Corbin III for a 67-yard touchdown strike. Then connected with junior Shane Hooks for a 10-yard touchdown, and it was suddenly 24-7 after 3 quarters of play. Senior Peyton Pickett added a 4-yard touchdown run late in the fourth quarter to put the game on ice. Sanders getting the ball around to 9 different receivers. Freshman Tavante Rucker finished with a game-high 5 receptions for 72 yards. Corbin had 69. It was as close to a rout as anything that we've seen in quite some time. Jackson State, a 38-16 winner, and as you might expect, Coach Prime, proud of his baby boy.
Well, the defense did improve from week 1 to week 2. We did. He did, but we did. Offensively, we did. We opened up a little bit. 2 got a lot more comfortable. We protected a little more. A few more route combinations that we were able to take advantage of. But they presented some challenges on defense as well. So we just had to be patient and take advantage of. We still having problems on third down. I think in the first half it was 1 for 5 on third downs and 0 for 1 on fourth down. That's ignorant. That don't make sense. That could translate into scores, and we got to do a better job in that aspect. But other than that, I'm happy with the win, but I'm critical as a coach because I'm striving for perfection, and I want these guys to reach the goal and reach the pinnacle of their dreams and ambitions. And the only way we're gonna do that, we got to be better than, we got to be greater than, we got to be more competent than other schools out there with these type of guys, because we don't get the same opportunities they get. We don't, and you know what I'm talking about. So I'm happy and elated, but we got to do so much better just to get noticed.
Boy, that's just a great story when you got a coach that can coach his son. And really, when you look at what Deion Sanders is doing right now down there, sorry, Coach Prime, he's done as much to market the game of black college football in less than the first month of a full regular season than anybody not named Eddie Robinson. That Eddie Robinson, you know, the one-time legendary figure who led all of college football in number of wins. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and go around the country. We'll start with Auburn pounds Alabama State 62-0. Bama State held it just 176 yards of offense. Tigers ran for 364 and 3 touchdowns in a dominant performance on the Plains. Wake Forest pounds out a tough win over Norfolk State 41-16. After the Spartans took a 3-0 lead, it was the Demon Deacons with 21 straight points, and it was on from there. Norfolk State's bright spot, Juwan Carter, throws a fourth-quarter touchdown pass for the only Spartans score after the intermission. Morgan State with a beatdown at the hands of Tulane, 69-20. Georgetown, a 20-14 winner over Delaware State. Delaware State led by 2 touchdowns late in the first half, but failed to score the rest of the way in a frustrating overtime loss. Alcorn State with a big win over Northwestern State, 13-10. Huge for the validity of the SWAC. And in the blowout of all blowouts, Howard, heading into this week's matchup against Hampton, a 62-0 beatdown. The last 2 times that Howard has played at the University of Maryland, they were shut out. But at least this time, they were 17 points better than they were the first time, because the last time they lost 79-0. Coming back to the HBCU Sports Nation, we go to Springfield, Mass, as 2 HBCU basketball players make it to the Hall of Fame. We'll see what the emotional Ben Wallace had to say as we continue making our way around the nation. Don't miss the bus. We still got room for you.
1, 2, 3, hit it! Black College Blues. Ride, come on! Black College, stand up! HBCU!
Coming out of Virginia Union, they said he couldn't play in the NBA. But Ben Wallace had confidence in other ideas. He became the first undrafted player to make it to the Hall of Fame, and last week was his time to shine. And what was most impressive was how a kid who had difficulty speaking electrified the crowd with a compelling and emotional speech. Let's head back to Springfield, courtesy of the Basketball Hall of Fame, to hear the pride of Virginia Union deliver his marks as he takes his place amongst the basketball greats on its all-time team.
Welcoming Ben Wallace to the Hall of Fame.
I love you too. Never gets old, never gets old. Detroit basketball never gets old. First of all, I just want to say thanks to our God and Savior for giving me an opportunity, for my mother for believing in me, to my family who motivated me, to my friends. Y'all know what y'all did to me. To my coaches who held me back to make me prove myself. To my family that kept me nurtured and kept me strong. I just want to say thanks to basketball. I just want to be honest with basketball. Basketball was not my life path. Basketball was just in my life path. I took basketball and I created a path for those who helped me. I took, I received, I gave back. I laid a path, I laid a track. It should be easy to find. I was stuck in it for quite some time. When I move forward, no is not an option. I keep marching. Lions, fight. Dogs fight. The Virginia University Panthers, we march. And if you follow, I'll lead. If you lead, I'll follow. You guide me, and I will finish when I get there. Life is not all about basketball. My life past has not always been about basketball. As a young kid, not having the ability to speak and express myself, but having a lot to say, for I was proud of myself, where life didn't give me a chance from the start. I kept fighting, I kept winning, I kept succeeding, I kept teaching, I kept giving back. Life is not all about taking. Life is not all about conquering. Life is about competing. Life is precious. Have fun, enjoy. Let's uplift our kids. Be strong, be motivated. Stand tall. This is what my mama taught me. Stand tall, stick your chest out, hold your head up. Now do it again. Stand tall, stick your chest out, keep your head up. If you build it and you can't tear it down, you got lost at the top. It's lonely at the top. Real leaders lead from the bottom. I take all my brothers and my sisters, my mothers and my fathers, I take them with me. For when I fall, you keep marching. Leave me there. I'll get up. I'll be stronger. I'll keep marching. Life is not hard. Life is very simple. Life is what you give it. Life is what you take from it. You give life. You take from life. How much do you take? How much do you leave behind? One blessing at a time. The toughest part of life is the most underrated part of life that you would ever hear about. Winning look good. Legacies are built. Legacies are built to last. But what type of legacy are you building? What protects your legacy? I tell you my legacy. I wasn't welcome. I was too small. I couldn't play the game the way they wanted me to play the game. Sound like an uneven game to me. Put me on a level playing field, and I'll show you. Panthers march.
Black College move. Ride, come on. Black College, stand up. HBCU.
Even your boy, the MLB bro #1, needs his chicken soup for the soul. And that chicken soup for the soul for me is black college football. There is nothing like it. I'm glad to see it's back. If you think it was tough for me, imagine what it was like you working this game.
Oh, it was extremely hard for me since I work in athletics, and I really didn't take any time off for COVID. I came in every day just to do like administrative stuff and get stuff ready hoping that we would have this. So it was like really, really, really slow, and I felt really bad for the students because, you know, this is what they do. This is like their job. So it was really hard. It was just really sad. So that's what life was like for me during COVID.
It has been horrible. We can't be the same without football. So now the football's back and we won the game today. Bowie State University is so excited to be back, especially the Golden Girls and Golden Gents, the cheerleaders of Bowie State. I miss football so much.
It's been tough, man. That's not to be around the guys. You know, I love these guys and love spending time with them and play the game that we love called football. So it's been tough, and I'm so glad we're back and able to do this again.
Our football was boring. We weren't bold. It was just like, where was the excitement? Where was the energy? Where was Saturday mornings when your allergies are kicking in, you're on the sideline, on the turf, and you have grass in your toes? So life without football was just so disheartening, but now we're back, and I'm so excited.
And nothing like it at all. I appreciate it. On a new field at home. I love it.
1, 2, 3, hit it! Black out and move. Ride, come on! Black college, stand up! HBCU!
It's great to have the games back here that we love so much. All right, folks, our new segment, Upon Further Review, where we break it down for you with our thoughts, opinions, and solutions to things that continue to, well, inhibit our game. And I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of hearing people always say this standard line. If all the players that was great black players would go back to HBCUs, things would be great. That sounds wonderful. But here's the deal, y'all. What are you doing to help make the game more attractive to those players that you want to come back to school? Do you understand how NEAL works? You know, the name, image, and likeness thing, which can allow a player to make some money, like, say, Bryce Young at the University of Alabama, who's worth $1 million before he played it down. You too can do that and send a kid to an HBCU. You got to be willing to do the research. And the problem that I have with people is they're not doing the research. They get caught up in all this emotional drama and forget that you can now help a kid use social media to develop a brand which will then allow them to go to an HBCU and become profitable and successful before they kick off. And that means also fewer opportunities that you have to take beat downs for big bucks. So the moral to the story is, if you want HBCU players to come home, you got to show them the value of what it's worth. I'm Mark Gray. That's what's going on around the HBCU Sports Nation. Remember, find me all over the place in cyberspace at The Sports Groove and daily on HSRN with the Sports Groove 2.0 on something other than your radio. Till next time, I'll see you around the HBCU Sports Nation.
1, 2, 3, hit it! Black out.